Welcome back, everyone. Today is day 64 of learning how to draw in 365 days. As stated in the description, we are going to complete Harding's Lesson 1. So this is basically just me. This is the last day. I'm going to be working solely on Lesson 1, Harding's Lesson 1, which is drawing our AB and CD horizontal lines. And we will be going into Lesson 2 tomorrow. That is because I wasn't able to do as much as I wanted to. I couldn't do as much as I wanted to do yesterday due to some stuff going on within the family. So I wanted to just make sure that I was really good to go before getting into Lesson 2. So tomorrow I'll bring the book in. We'll go over some things with Lesson 2 and we'll start Lesson 2. I will not. So today and tomorrow are strictly only Harding's lessons, and then Monday we will start with doing the lesson and also working on something else. I will let you know what that is on Monday because I still need to make sure I can do what it is. I need to make sure I understand what it is that I'm gonna be doing before I decide whether or not that's a good thing to do while doing the lessons, or if so. Yeah, like there's just some things I gotta read up on and stuff before I completely commit to doing it. Also we are going to be, I think that's it. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So that's kind of what we're gonna be doing with the next couple of days. And I should really start using the community notes to explain this too. Just so it's like there. And it's not like people have to click on the video in order to know, hey, what's going on? Without further ado, let's get started on the drawing. I did just put hand cream on. So I don't want to. Oh, okay. Phew. I found it. What is it? Oh, so I did just put hand cream on, so this is gonna be a little more difficult. The pen's probably gonna slip out of my hand, but that's okay. That's why we're not working on anything in particular. Okay. I've not. There hasn't this week was just so busy with chores, which are pretty boring, that it's not there's nothing exciting to talk about. Which is unfortunate because, well, I guess it's unfortunate because I like to talk and you guys cannot see what it is that I'm doing. Interesting. Okay. I have been looking for, hold on. No. That was just my hand. And I gotta do the shorter lines. There we go. That's a little too. Alright, definitely need to get warmed up. So this is kind of an interesting topic that I don't think people really talk about much. So I My life basically runs, due to various different reasons, on 3 calendars. There's like the calendars, your January to December calendar. Then there's the fiscal year calendar. There's the school year calendar. Then there's also what um oh gosh, the denomination of Christian that I am also has what we call a liturgical calendar. And so it's like so I don't run off of the school calendar, but I do have things that like follow the fiscal year calendar, so I need to like know what's going on in the like where I am in the fiscal year for some stuff in my life. So I have to like keep track of the fiscal year calendar. I also have to keep track of like the year calendar because that's like the normal calendar that everyone falls off of. And then in terms of just like living liturgically and also practicing, it helps to live liturgically. So I have to follow liturgical year. So it's like it's almost like living in like needing to keep up with 3 different time zones, which I have had to do before. I was on a backpacking trip for 2 weeks, and oh gosh, it was really funny because so I was in a time zone, but like everyone else that like what was it? Why were we in 3 different time zones? Why did it matter? Oh, okay. Was it because so we had to be in certain places at certain times, and some of that stuff was like on a different time zone, so we had to like make sure that we weren't going to be late by making sure like we knew what time it was in the time zone in which the thing that we were going to was. And then we also had to keep track of the time zone in which like our families were and stuff, so we could like check in with them periodically. And so we kind of like just kept an eye on that time zone, and then we were in like the time zone where we were, which we had to like keep track of that just so it was like we weren't breaking park rules and stuff like that by being out when like certain areas were supposed to be closed and stuff like that. And then it was a school backpacking trip, so there was like educational stops and stuff, so we needed to make sure those places were open and everything. So that was like my first experience dealing with different stuff like that. And then it's not hard to keep track of like it was more complicated keeping track of 3 different time zones than it was to keep track of 3 different calendars. And that's just because all you need to do is post the calendars on a fridge or a wall. Oh my gosh, why are my lines so crooked? Yeah, I just realized that, and I don't know if that's just because yeah, the page was crooked for a bit. Let me make sure that, okay. Jeez, that scared me. Yeah, the time zones were a little bit harder than that because the calendar you can just put up on the calendar and you can check off days. I'm just happy I don't have to deal with the Julian calendar anymore. I did have to deal with the Julian calendar at one point in time. Oh my gosh. I don't know why there's a Julian calendar. If anyone could explain that one, I would agree. I mean, I could probably look it up too, but if anyone just feels like who actually knows the thing and doesn't mind like posting it for me so I don't have to look it up on my own, I would greatly appreciate that. Because that would I think if I had kept up with the Julian calendar instead of, because I thought it was so arbitrary that I didn't want to deal with it, so I would only try to figure out what day was in the Julian calendar when I needed to. So I was like, and couldn't remember what the last date was that I'd looked at and stuff because I don't know why, it just was just irritating. Like, I don't want to follow this. I don't care. So anyone who doesn't know, the Julian calendar is basically where January 1st is day 1, and then it just counts day 1, day 2, day 3, and it goes all the way for 364 days. So February 1st would be day 32 on the Julian calendar instead of February 1st. So I'm very glad I'm not using the Julian calendar anymore in any area of my life. And you would think that, like, oh, that actually makes sense. That would be, like, the least confusing one to, like, use. And I said, I didn't keep up with, like, what day it was Julian calendar-wise. And so I constantly had to look up and be like, what? Today is this day, so what day is it in the Julian calendar? I mean, you could also count the days. Yeah, my dots are off today for some reason. But I just don't want to. I just Googled it instead. And there is, like, you could, like, obviously you can just, like, write out 1 through 65 and you can just cross off the days as you finish them. It's a very easy calendar to follow. It just, like, for the time in my life in which I used it, it just annoyed me. Like, just one more thing I didn't, like, keeping track of. I need to write more. I had started a correspondence. Or I started writing correspondence because there's a couple of, oh my gosh, this line is so bad. Hold on, let me fix it. No, it's a little bit better, but it's both it's slanted downwards. Hold on, I gotta use this to get it right. There we go. So there was this thing that came out that basically said that you would have better memory. The way you think would be more focused, and there was one other thing. If, like, for people who write, so, like, writing in journals, I guess, would work, but I was like, oh, writing letters. And so I was writing letters, and then the people I was writing letters to didn't respond. And so I was just like, well, they gotta respond before I can write. And then I came up with the idea of, oh, well, I'll just write back, right? But then the days go by so fast because, like, I'm too tired to do it, so I'll just do it tomorrow. And you keep doing that, and then it's like 3 months later, like, I should do this. I think it's Ben Franklin who said you should do today, like, don't do tomorrow what you can do today. Except I think he said it in a more positive tone, like, do today, like, don't push off to tomorrow what you can do today. No, that's not using the only positive because you have a negative in there. It was something like that. And then I'm also sure they didn't use contractions back then either. Contractions. That's, yeah. So, yeah, that's a straight line. Just need to make sure it was straight line. Yeah, so yeah, I really need to do that. And I'm still fighting with my torso. I wonder if I'll ever stop fighting with my torso. Having the paper straight isn't as weird anymore, so that's kind of cool that it's only been a couple of days and it's not as, it doesn't feel as foreign as it did the first day I did that. So that's good. And I did not read anymore on the lessons or even the classical writing, which is sad because I was really enjoying those books. But the family member that I was. Yeah, that line was not straight. Oof. That I was checking in on yesterday, we're still like having to monitor and stuff, so I didn't have any time whatsoever today to do really anything. And then I did a stupid thing for dinner because I was just unbelievably angry for no reason whatsoever, because it wasn't like my day was that bad. I mean, it was stressful, but it wasn't bad. And then I just got angry, and I couldn't stop being angry. So I ended up just throwing things together for dinner, and I didn't really do lunch. And those are really important because I'm following a diet, which I need to because I had a health issue. So as you can see, this channel was started in 2022. Yeah, 2022. But the first video is this year. That's because I had some medical things come up the last 2 years, so I needed to get just work through that, and then so diet does play a part in making sure that I don't have any more issues come up. So this is a little up. So the way I eat is very important, and like skipping a meal is actually really, really bad. So that might have honestly probably led to why I was so angry, is because it's not that I just skipped a meal, but it's also the fact that I wasn't eating everything else that I should have been eating. And when I say like everything else I should have been eating, it's mostly just like certain, like I could do the supplements, which would be easy, but it's like making sure you're getting certain minerals and stuff in it. So like I eat a ton of mushrooms because mushrooms have a lot of B12 in them. And then I also eat a lot of eggs and fish for the omegas, and then eggs has like this type of protein and stuff in it. So it's like, so instead of like going and buying the pills, I go and I just eat the vegetables and stuff that have the stuff that I need. Because it's a little bit cheaper. It's a lot harder, but it's a lot cheaper to do it that way. So that's what I do. And what's the thing? When I'm like getting all of it, like it's perfectly fine. But I've noticed that when like I'm not able to eat everything that I have to eat, like I should be eating, it messes with my like mood. It messes with how I'm able to like focus and my energy levels and stuff like that. It's really interesting. So today, yeah, it was just like, okay, so that actually makes sense then why I got like so angry right before dinner, because I hadn't been able to eat lunch, and I wasn't able to do everything completely the way like I'm supposed to in terms of like meals and snacks and stuff. And that's mostly because of time. because it takes a lot of time. I don't have the ability to meal prep at the beginning of the week just yet, because that takes, amazingly, it's like a lot of containers. You need to have a lot of containers, and I have a lot of containers, but not the right containers. So I'm kind of just waiting to slowly acquire those. So it just takes a whole lot of time to get everything prepped. I'm pretty sure that's the straight line, even though. Yeah, I thought so. So that's not even lined up at all. Nope, that's okay. I'm gonna move on because I need this all to just be straight, or I'm gonna end up with those lines. So hold on, let me just fix this. I'm gonna make this so I can't actually see what's going on up there. Make sure everything's straight on here. And let's do our lines. So I'm not sure how long I'm actually gonna stream, because this is all I'm really doing. And I do need the practice because, like I said, I'm trying to I want to have this lesson completed for tomorrow's stream. Well, that wasn't supposed to happen. I don't know why I just did all 4 dots. Well, I was able to do a straight line, so that's good then. There we go, much better. Ooh, I really need to get the right pencil. I was looking for those today and I just couldn't find them. Oh. So for Christmas, so a couple years ago I got these Wooble kits, and I want to complete them for Christmas and give them to, like, use them as stocking stuffers for a couple of people. And I don't know if I'll be able to because Christmas is in today's the 13th in 12 days. They supposedly take like anywhere between 3 to 6 hours to do. So it's like, yeah, that should be something that like I'm able to accomplish. But I don't think so. I don't think it's actually going to happen. We'll have to see. Because that would be really cool if I could do that. think that lines off a little bit. Let me check this one. No, that was straight until until I did the ruler. Yeah, that one was a little up. I thought so. Okay. Ooh. Uh-oh. Yeah, I think I'm only going to be able to do a couple more lines, and then I'm going to have to call it a night. Because I have to go back and check on everyone, and then do a couple of other things. Well, yeah, do a couple of other things before I get to bed. I was going to be like, well, not really. And I was like, no, I really should do those things. I'm not using this at the ruler anymore. Keep forgetting. So what's really fun is I keep getting these drawing ads for like these different things that are like the new like 'tis the season type stuff. Like these are the new art like stuff that people want for Christmas. These are hot wish list items. Ads are really targeted now. And then I find it funny, like when you're watching about like a certain, like you're watching a video for like a certain thing, and then its competitor's ad is on the video. Like that's funny. I find that really funny. And I know like you can't like it's not up to the video what ads get placed on it, but it's really funny when that happens. Cause like I feel like there should be a way where you can stop that from happening. Like when it's a show, like because it's not like I'm watching like a video where it's like, hey, look, I just got this and I'm doing like a review. It's like no, it's like the it's. I know this is weird, but it's when you're looking up a specific ad or a specific commercial. So it's the actual company's like page, an ad, and then its competitors ad because they monetize their video for whatever the ad, which is funny. And it's like their competitors ad. And it's like I feel like you should like that just should be something you can stop because it comes like I mean I guess that's part of the danger of monetizing stuff like that, but at the same time it's like can't they like just have a thing where it's not gonna happen? Not 100% straight, but a lot straighter than it's been. I don't know if that's because of the hand cream or am I just that jittery today? Maybe I just don't have the lesson as well known as I thought I did. Yeah, that was weird for. Yeah, I've probably been doing that all day for some reason. I've been doing that all day, I don't know. I'll stream all day. I'll stream. Awesome. There we go. Yeah, I knew that was up. No, I don't know. That, I don't think that's straight. No, it is. That one's straight. Okay. Yep. That makes more sense. Okay. I am off today. I need to get these straight. So I'll do that until I can get these. Because these ones are all straight, right? Yeah, that's straight. At the end, it's not. Yeah, that's weird. Okay. So yeah, today's just been not very straight lines. Hmm. Much better. Okay, there we go. No, I'm still slanting upwards for some reason. Okay, cool. That was a straight line, but I messed up the roller, so I can't do the CD line. Nope. Much better. Cool. Alright. That was a straight line. Now let's do CD. So tomorrow I'm gonna see if it's just because of everything, like if it's just because it's so late. There we go. I finally got the straight line. Just took 5 lines on top of each other. Yep, straight. Okay. Let's do 2 more lines and then we'll call that a night, I think. Yeah, we'll definitely call it a night. Not using the ruler. Yeah. There we go. It would help if this was straight. Jeez. I don't even know how that happened. Yeah. One of those, that bold line is actually straight. So I'm just gonna follow it. I'm pretty sure that line's straight. Yeah, it's straight. Cool. Okay. Ooh, okay, we're gonna end. I think I don't like ending it on a bad note of like, oh, this was like good, so I should just leave it like that. Okay, let's try one more line and then I'll call it a day. I don't want it to be like, oh, okay, we finally got it good. It's like, no, let's just make sure we've got it consistent before we go to bed. I just messed that line up so bad. Alright, let's just do that again. Just need to be slightly more. There. That should be straight. Yep. Okay. Just went down at the end. There we go. I don't know what. Oh, hold on. It should be straight. Yeah. Yeah, the second line straight. Okay. Alright, so I'm going to call it a day at this point. Got a good couple of lines in. Kind of figured out what the problem was. I really need to find a way to keep all of this not moving. It moves a lot for some reason. And the straighter my paper is, the easier it is to draw straight lines. So I'm gonna need to figure that out. Okay. So I will see you guys all back for more lines because Harding's second lesson is the vertical line and then working on angles. But you gotta work on the vertical line first, then you gotta work on doing the perpendicular, and then we get to work on the other angles. So that is a long lesson, so that's probably gonna take even longer to get through, but that's fine. It's the more time spent on the first couple of lessons, the easier the other lessons are. The lessons later on are going to be. So I don't mind taking as much time on these. I know it's boring, but it's gonna end up being a good thing in the long run. Okay, so I think tomorrow what's going to happen is we'll, for warming up purposes, work on doing the horizontal lines, and then once the hand's warmed up, move on to Harding's second lesson. I think that's how we'll go about the stream tomorrow. Until then, I hope everyone has a good rest of their day, and I will see you all later.